all ready?
No, same.
Not yet. Make it 7. Just turned 7. All right, good evening and welcome to the December 14th Board of Ed meeting. Here. Here.
Here. Steve Lee. Megan Michael.
Here.
Kathy Knight. Here. Tom Ackley.
Here. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Board members, any topics for consideration to add to the agenda this evening?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We need to appoint the Secretary Pro Tem. Do we have someone in mind?
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
We go to the consent approval for the minutes of the November 16th, 2021 Board of Education meeting and the November 16th, 2021 Board of Education closed session meeting. Are we good with the minutes?
Second.
Jerry Parker.
Yes.
Rob Close.
Yes.
Megan Michael.
Yes.
Kathy Knight.
Yes.
Jim Barrett.
Yes.
Tom Ackley.
Yes. We have accommodation this evening for the Johnsburg High School Fall Play, Rumors.
Yeah, I want to make sure we commend Gus Schmidt, who's the year tonight Tech Director, Max Sherman Director, and Jacob Mitchell Assistant Director. It's the first time that I'm aware, at least in my last 16 years, where they actually took on the task of having understudies learn each part, which is basically like directing 2 plays at once. But the cool thing was they really planned for all possibilities that maybe somebody might get sick or might not be able to make it. And so the cool thing is everybody was okay. They actually did an understudy performance, which was awesome. And they also actually showed that they could kind of think on the fly, both the directors and the actors, because the performance I went to, there was a prop that fell and broke. The directors made an impromptu entrance to give a dustpan and a mop to get it cleaned up, and the actors and actresses just kind of kept rolling with everything. And I think one of the characters that some of you might know, I think, said, "Oh, how convenient that this showed up at the door," and then they cleaned things up and went from there. But just really proud of everybody for what they did and what they were able to accomplish under some challenging circumstances.
Thank you. It was cool to see some live theater again. Thank you, Gus. And the rest of the crew. Next, we have agenda time for citizens to speak. Community members are welcome to address the board in person. Please follow our board policy. And when attending, and note that the board will listen to your comments but does not reply. Would any citizens like to address the board this evening? And we'll go to Annie on the bills.
Okay, included in your materials is the accounts payable for the month of December, as well as liabilities and other items for the close of November. I want to highlight our 12/28 bond payment that's coming up. It's actually 2 payments, one for the 2014 bond and one for the 2015 bonds, in the total of $2,251,200. That'll be paid just at the end of the month. It's January 1st. And that'll be transferred directly from PMA. That's why you don't see it on the accounts payable. Also, just want to highlight, we've been talking about our monthly transportation each month, just to keep you guys up to speed. It's about $60,000 that we're asking for payment on this month. We're kind of at the mercy of this at this time, just given the fact that it's difficult to hire. We do have plans for where we want to go from here, but it's going to take time. It's going to take hiring to get there. We do anticipate that line item will be over budget this year, and we'll kind of keep you guys up to speed as we go. Fortunately, we do get a lot of that reimbursed in our next year, but obviously we'll be over budget not for this year. So we'll keep you guys up to speed on that. Otherwise, we're pretty on par for budget in all the other areas. And also included, I wanted to highlight the ethanol fuel for our buses. That is also going up in cost. Just obviously the price of everything that's going on. We're going to kind of do an evaluation of that as well since we switched to ethanol for our buses this year. But we'll be bringing more information to you on that later this year. Is there any questions?
Is there, we have contracts with these people for this special ed?
Yes, no, not specifically, no. We're contracted with them to transport, but we do not have contracts, no.
Okay. All right, I mean,
It's on an as-needed
that can
basis.
explain why the cost of them.
Well, I think it's just a product of what's happened, and, you know, a lot of these groups went unpaid last year, because if you weren't contracted with them, you didn't have to pay those bills last year, so I think a lot of those costs went up, as well as the cost of doing business has gone up, cost of paying people, and obviously fuel costs. So ultimately, right now, we're at our mercy, but we're doing everything we can to try to get out from under that, but it's something that takes some time to get there.
Anyone with any questions for me? All right, would we like to pay the bills?
Will we do that?
Second. Thank you.
Ralph Close.
Yes.
Megan Michael.
Yes.
Kathy Knight.
Yes.
Jim Barrett.
Yes.
Jerry Parker.
Yes.
Tom Eckling.
Yes. Now we go to reports from advisory committees. First, we have the Ringwood PAC. Mrs. Tomberry.
Good evening. So Ringwood PAC met earlier this month. We had Terry come out and talk about title grants and answer questions in regards to math and what those scores mean for parents at home. And then we transitioned into PBIS at Ringwood, what that looks like, next steps in terms of going to transportation and training up transportation in regards to what PBIS looks like at Ringwood. And getting that language home to families so they can continue to have that language available and consistent. And then we transitioned into our social workers, talking about opportunities, things that they would like to share in second step, and as well as what families are looking for from the social workers in terms of other opportunities of support and we can continue to grow. And then I gave an update on some of the literacy initiatives that we're starting, including the fall reading challenge, which will be on route today, reading to kids after recess, and getting in our first responders, doing history readers, sprinkling them in as opportunities. And then
Thank you. Jess and junior high PAC.
We have a very similar yet shorter agenda. We had Mrs. Engelbrecht talk about assessments and our new MTSS system. And then Josh and I spoke about PBIS and how that was working in our schools and you know, what we kind of hoped to see moving forward.
All right. Kevin, the PTO.
PTO met here in the auditorium and had quite a bit of great news to share. They did their trivia night and they wanted to shout out to 3 specific groups. First of all, to the Barretts for giving the template of running just an amazing event because it was a very big success, sold out show, if you will. Net profit of $5,000, which was amazing, and Matt Hurley helped with live auctions, and Cassie Flebby went out and she's always going out and just doing a great job for different organizations getting donations. So that was great news. The fall fundraiser pulled in $7,000 from cheese, sausage, cookie dough, and Charleston app. And then Winterfest was also a great success with a profit close to $3,800. And their next activity plan, if everything goes well, like I would be an action territory night on January 13th. But they were very pleased with their fundraising scenarios and all have been great successes.
Thank you, Kevin. Megan, you have something with JDPF you want to share with us?
Sure. JPF met again last night, and we are putting the final plans together for the winter tasting event, January 29th at the Johnsburg Community Club. And then we just started also planning the summer event, which will be on the water, so more details will come with that.
All right. Thank you. Informational items. District updates.
Yeah, I just want to provide a few updates in regards to what's happening. You might have noticed that since Thanksgiving, we've seen a bit of an increase in positive cases in the district. We're we're not seeing it really in school transmission, primarily outside school transmission. It's not unanticipated, as I think everybody had anticipated something going up after the Thanksgiving holiday. And in regards to quarantining or exclusion, that is still happening. It's happening less though in our buildings because we've got most of the things already at 6 feet or spaced out far enough, so we don't do a lot of exclusion around here unless it has to deal with masks being removed and they can't be maintained. So that's good. But we are doing our best utilizing test to stay as much as we can. Our nurses are get that rolling as best they possibly can, which is good. We want to keep kids in school as much as we can. So we'll see, we'll continue to keep that rolling. I do want to thank the nurses for that. It's been quite a hectic 3 weeks after Thanksgiving with the rising cases and communicating with people, and then also doing the test to stay with all of the quarantine taking place. So you see one of our school nurses, thank you. It's been quite a challenge. We continue to use our FAQs, and those continue to go up. Any input or anything in regards to the FAQs, or we good with that? I did want to update the board and that were watching that we had 2 meetings with 2 kind of higher up government officials. One at the governor's office. We met with Martin Torres, who's the deputy governor for education down at the Chicago conference. This is I think it was November 20th. The primary message coming from Martin was that we should anticipate seeing some modifications to things after the holidays. Would not get into specifics with it, but just said that things were being looked at. And that was November 20th, and then the cases started to rise pretty rapidly after that. So, but following up on that, school superintendents got summoned to a meeting on Friday with Dr. Nzike. Martin Torres was there, and so was State Superintendent Ayala. The clear message was that mitigation strategies are being evaluated by IDPH. It was the same message really that Martin had said, or that Deputy Governor Torres said, which was anticipate some changes coming after the holidays. Really did not get into what those would be. Hinted and intimated a lot about maybe changing definitions as it relates to quarantine and close contact, possibly some changes with test to stay. There's information coming out, and they are studying masks, and there is information that, what's going on there. So it would not come out any definitive answers or anything like that, but they really said that anticipate for schools to be looking for some mitigation changes coming out after the holidays. It was also a very clear message that it is not coming from IDPH, it's not coming from ISD. The message will clearly come from the governor's office. They give the recommendations to the governor's office, and everything comes from the governor's office. So we are anticipating something like that moving forward. And she said really the data that they look at isn't necessarily the cases per day or positivity rates. They kind of have hospitalization circled, and that's their main emphasis that they look at. So we're anticipating something coming after the holidays. So what that is, TBD, but we are anticipating. It was interesting that message even came from Dr. Nzike on the 10th, even though the cases have been on the increase in the state and across the country. But he's pretty adamant that they're going to be making some modifications after the holidays. So when those come, we'll let you know.
District donations, we have some nice ones here, huh?
Yes, we do. We do have a couple of donations. There's a memo created your board packet, but I'll summarize them just to really say thank you. The first one came from Just Manufacturing through Mike Tusa. He donated a mural, if you will, in the Ringwood Learning Center, basically giant stickers that's already been put up. It's kind of a test run of what we're working on now for their division, so it's a mural on the wall, basically. The second thing we donated was 30 Nike backpacks filled with school supplies to disperse amongst the students as well. The second donation was from Rock Solid Stabilization, and this goes with the third donation as well, which is from Red Rock Tire Services. Rock rock solid stabilization through Mike Cohn, Alex Martini, and Nick Russell, Gushman. He coordinated it, donated 8 drive-line tires for our 69 Mac, and as you can imagine, those are pretty costly to get new. So Gus worked his magic and made some connections and was able to get those donated. They've been used, but obviously for our needs, they're perfect. And then Tread Rock Tire Services through Joe Simans came through and actually installed those tires and donated the service as well as the materials to get those installed. So pretty great things and really good networking that's been going on in the district. So also thank you to us.
What is the Bureau of?
Lori, you want to chime in because you've seen it in person?
The mural?
Yep.
So the mural is over the stacks that are kind of adjacent to the large windows. It's a series of silhouettes of children that are reading, and then different words that are trying to describe the reading experience. So that's kind of our starting point, and we're looking to hopefully add onto it. It is a giant sticker, so we're hoping to add onto it with paint, gradually shifting the look of the space to make it a little bit more friendly.
Thank you all. And lastly, the Freedom of Information Act request.
Happy to say that there's only one for this time. Again, we're not going to read through those if you'd like. Just take a look at the FOIA request memo. If we have good questions, this one's pretty standard when we get every quarter. Smart.
Thank you for having the preparation time.
Yeah, that's a simple one. So, yeah, I'll make sure I do that.
Yeah, thank you.
Imagine we probably would have been very surprised to see some of the length of time in some of those.
Other ones,
tabs.
yeah, for sure. I'll keep adding that as we go.
As long as that doesn't come too tight.
That won't be a problem.
All right, we have some action items. There's a resolution adopting and directing the filing of the certificate of tax levy. We doing this separately?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. We good with what we've talked about 38 times? We exaggerate at home just a few times.
Yes.
Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the levy as presented this week.
Second. Megan Michael,
Yes.
Kathy Knight,
Yes.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Jerry Harker,
Yes.
Beth Close,
Yes.
Tom Eklund.
Yes. Next, we have the property tax relief grant. Someone like to make a motion to give that a shot?
So moved.
Second.
Kathy Knight,
Yes.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Jerry Harker,
Yes.
Beth Close,
Yes.
Megan Michael,
Yes.
Tom Eklund.
Yes. And the third thing we have is a request for consent approval of the 22-23 school calendar and to receive the donations that we've just heard about. I'd like a motion to take care of those things.
Make a motion to approve the calendar as presented and accept the district donations.
Second.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Jerry Harker,
Yes.
Beth Close,
Yes.
Megan Michael,
Yes.
Kathy Knight, Tom Eklund.
Yes. Other business, committee of the whole meeting will be right here on January 11th, the year 2022. And the Board of Ed meeting will be here as well on the 25th of January. And now we're looking for a motion to go into closed session regarding the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees and collective bargaining.
So moved.
Second.
Jerry Harker,
Yes.
Beth Close,
Yes.
Megan Michael,
Yes.
Kathy Knight,
Yes.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Tom Eklund.
Yes. Thank you all. Have a nice Christmas. See you next year.